Bear's Diet. Story by Annette Smith. After school, Matthew sat down on the steps with Mum. He stroked his dog, Bear. Bear didn't come to meet me at the back gate today, said Matthew. No, said Mum. I'm a bit worried about him. I know he's getting old, but he just seems to sit around these days. I think he's overweight, too. Maybe there's something wrong with him, said Matthew. We could take him to the vet. That's a good idea, said Mum. I'll make an appointment for Bear to see Dr. Kelly. Matthew and Mum walked through the door of the clinic. Bear woofed a friendly greeting to Dr. Kelly, the vet. How are you doing, Bear? She said, giving him a pat. I haven't seen you for a long time. Come on in. Mum and Matthew explained why they were worried about Bear. So Dr. Kelly checked Bear's heart and his lungs and his stomach. She looked into his eyes and his ears and his mouth. She took his temperature too. Well, said Dr. Kelly, running her hands over Bear's coat, he seems to be in good health. But I do agree he is a bit fat. Let's see how heavy he is. Matthew helped Dr. Kelly put Bear on the scales to weigh him. You're right, said Dr. Kelly. He does need to go on a diet and do some more exercise. Take him for a long walk each day. Here's a list of food that he should be eating. Remember to give him plenty of vegetables too, said Dr. Kelly. Vegetables? Said Matthew. Yes, laughed Dr. Kelly, winking at Matthew. The same ones that you have. Bring him back in 6 weeks if he still hasn't lost weight. Then I'll have some other tests done. Several weeks went by. One day, Mum said, Bear's been on the diet for a while now, but he still looks just as fat. And we've been taking him for long walks every day, said Matthew. Perhaps we should have him checked by Dr. Kelly again, said Mum. And that reminds me. I had a phone call from Henry's mum this morning. She said that she had seen Bear wandering past her house. I wonder how he got in and out. We fixed the latch on the back gate. The next day, when Matthew came home from school, he saw Mum waiting for him. Bear has got out again, she said crossly. And I've found the place. Henry's mum has just seen Bear walking past their house. We'll have to go and get him. I'll get his lead, and we can go on our bikes, said Matthew. Mum and Matthew rode past Henry's place and on down Greenwood Road. There he is, said Matthew. I can see him. He's nearly at the corner shops. Oh, my goodness, said Mum. Come on. We had better ride a bit faster. As they got nearer, they were just in time to see Bear stroll around to the back of the shops. Then, to their surprise, he scratched at a door and barked loudly. The door opened, and out came the butcher with a large meaty bone in his hand. Mum and Matthew watched as Bear wagged his tail and woof. So this is what Bear gets up to when he sneaks out, said Mum as they went over to the doorway. Hello, said the butcher. Is this your dog? He's very friendly, isn't he? He often comes to visit me. No wonder he's putting on weight with all that extra food, said Matthew. The butcher laughed. Old Mrs. Walker tells me that he sometimes stops at her place and she feeds him too. Bear, you're a friendly old dog, said Mum. But when we have fixed the fence, there will be no more visits to the butcher or to Mrs. Walker. And then the diet Dr. Kelly gave you will work after all, said Matthew.